Hello. Wait for people to come in. Tim. No Tim? Tim. No Tim? Tim. When will we see the filing? When the court uploads it. We're seeing this. That caption got me excited. Almost every single time I try to turn the volume up so I can see your comments better. But also, that's not how this works. I've been working so much, I missed your lives. Oh, hi from Minnesota. I worked out today and I did arms, and I don't know how long I'm going to hold this. So it's happened. Steph is the sole reason why I know this. Steph is she's my girl. So is this another cop-out? So Jaime released to the media before filing. He does that with every single filing. Most of the time, though, it's to TMZ. It's not to CNN. Can you save this for later? I can. Yeah, so feel free to leave if you don't have the time. I will upload this. The only ones I don't upload are when we're Footloose and Fancy Free. TMZ had it too. Oh, interesting. HCOTF. It was Arms Day. I don't know what HCOTF means, but yes, it was full body day. I think I did too much. Hope you had a great birthday. Thank you. I did. I had an amazing birthday. NBC News, CNN. Well, so CNN said he released it to CNN. What's happening? Jamie Spears has filed, allegedly, according to CNN. According to CNN, I can put my laptop on my butcher block, right? So the news sites may all have it, but he may have only released the documents to CNN. Does that make sense? But everybody's going to run it at this point. Let me see what TMZ says. If they got a copy of it too, or if they're just saying that they told CNN. In a stunning move, Jaime is not just asking to leave Britney Spears' conservatorship. He's asking the judge to end it altogether. He said in Jaime's documents. Oh no, he must have released them. I mean, they have a copy of it. They're quoting it. So CNN did not quote the documents that I could see. I can't trust CNN. Well, I get it. We all have trust issues with media at this point. I didn't read it. I just saw it and sent it to you. Okay. Hello, Virgo Moon. That's a cool name. We need more air if I'm going to be standing next to a stove. Okay, so I'll pull up the TMZ quotes. Understanding, though, that TMZ has a bias here, and we've seen it play out in the way that they've reported on early release documents. So they'll take specific phrases, like in Jamie Spears' first response that he filed with the court, TMZ took the most beneficial quotes out of that and led with those. And so that's what the world saw before the filing even hit the LA court website for people like me to look at it and tell you guys what it says. Are there actual documents filed that you can see? Not yet. Is this a move to absolve him of criminal or civil actions against him? Steph, I hadn't even thought about that. Well, let's walk that through. Great point. If he petitions to end the conservatorship, does he then, is a natural consequence of that then the court terminating the file, closing the case, and then Britney Spears' attorney potentially losing that jurisdictional component for prosecuting any claims against Jaime that they have? I don't think that would bar him specifically. Generally, I don't think that would be a complete bar. but it could be a motivating factor for why Jaime is now wanting to. He sees this tunnel's going to run out. There's an end here. Maybe the tunnel's not going to run out. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe there's an end. We know that there's an end. He now sees that there's an end. If he's not going to profit off of it, who is? He doesn't want anybody else to. He doesn't want anybody else to be in the position. Again, I said this before when we talked about Jason Rubin coming into this conservatorship. Whoever, if Jaime leaves, he gets up from his chair, using this theoretically, obviously, gets up from his chair, and whoever is the next conservator of the estate comes and sits in that exact chair, right? Has the exact same view that Jaime has access to all the financial documents, all the bank accounts, all the LLCs, all the corporations, all the expenditures, the income, the attorney's bills, the attorney's notes. I don't know about attorney-client privilege if you start talking about Vivian and Wiley and all those people when it comes to their preservation of Jaime versus the conservatorship versus Jaime's ability to further himself in the conservatorship. I don't know if he would have access to all of that, but Jason or whoever would be the successor conservator would have access to everything that Jaime's done. And so is it better for Jaime knowing that he's out? He's out come hell or high water at some point. He's done. So is it better for him to try to just get the court to say, you know what? Just go ahead and approve that 12th accounting, get my attorneys paid. Hey, from Elk Grove, hey. Get my attorneys paid, get me paid, and we'll leave. We're good. We don't need somebody else coming in here. I don't want anybody else having to deal with this mess. If she wants it over, it'll be over. It's fine. Rosengart probably said something. Let's see. I didn't see Sandy. This seems strategic. Don't want a CPA to investigate him and would rather resign than be fired. Right. And potentially end the jurisdictional claim that the court has. So right now it's like an open file with regard to all of the claims that Britney is going to make against her father. It's in this case, right? It's in front of this judge. She has jurisdiction over the parties as they sit in their current roles. Britney as conservatee, Jaime as conservator, of the estate and of the person. It would then be beneficial, and Rosengart has said this, he's all but specifically said, I'm going to investigate all of this and prosecute Jaime to the fullest extent. But you would want to potentially still do that within the jurisdictional component of this conservatorship proceeding. If the conservatorship is terminated, the question would then be, what kind of claims would Britney have outside of the conservatorship after it's over? I don't think that would bar any of her claims. I'd have to think about that. It would really depend on what kind of claims she would be bringing, because some of them are going to be related to, well, I don't know what all of the claims are going to be, but I assume some of them are going to be related to entities, some specifically to her person. Next court date is 9/29, September 29th. Can she still have her finances investigated after this is all over? She can do all the investigation that she wants. It would just be a matter of the question of whether or not the statute of limitations is passed in some instances, which I would argue it hasn't, because it would have told, I assume, meaning the statute of limitations wouldn't have started running because she didn't have capacity. But then the court said, well, there's actually not been a capacity declaration. This was all voluntary. So then did she have capacity to file a claim this entire time, but you guys wouldn't let her hire an attorney? Like, that's where it starts to get hairy. Do you think her dad can go to jail? I don't know what claims that would be based on. Do you really think the court will end it on 9/29? Is that even possible? I do not think that the court will end it on 9/29. This could also be a move to gain public favor, because there has been some discussion about how Rosengart has not yet filed a petition to end the conservatorship. Cooking onions. So possibly playing into the same group of people that like look at Britney's Instagram and base all of their opinions on that. Jaime, and there have been some people that are like, well, maybe she needed it. Maybe she just needed it. You know, her dad was doing his best, whatever. So playing into those types of people or people that don't look into it that deep, he may be attempting to say like, look, not even her attorney's petitioning to end this. I'm doing it because I love her. Would she get more custody of her children? I don't think that would have any bearing. Labor laws. Good question. That would be tough because she owns the businesses. And it's not like, she's not an employee. Let me see. Would it just be up to Britney and or her attorneys to continue the investigation? It already is. It already is. The unraveling of the conservatorship will be complicated, yeah. Civilly, wouldn't she be able to sue for financial damages? The question is, and I don't know the answer to this. I'll look, but I don't know the answer. Would Britney, if the court dismissed the conservatorship, closed it, granted the petition to terminate, would Britney's claims against her father also then terminate? Does she lose the ability to bring those as it relates to the conservatorship? I think that there are claims that she will make that will be outside the scope of this conservatorship, but maybe decided along with because the parties are the same. I don't speak on courts, judges, or the California Bar Association because I am a practicing attorney in the state of California and it's not in my client's best interests. They haven't even finished the accounting though, right? Correct. Not the 12th accounting and haven't filed the 13th. And the 13th includes this year. Rosengart is already the best advocate Britney's ever had in her entire life. The only advocate. The only advocate. She was not allowed the 3 times that she tried to hire another attorney. The court determined she did not have that capability. I will YouTube this, yeah. This is better for her so that she doesn't spend more years in a conservatorship. Jody is out. I feel like Britney's probably pretty pissed at this point. I don't know that she would want her dad kind of having the last word. I'm not friends with her, so I don't know. You're welcome, Nicole. Yeah, the conservatorship abuse. I have to believe that the dismissal of the conservatorship itself would not impact jurisdictional claims for that. But again, I will look. How long does this take? I don't know. I don't know. Just joining, what did I miss? Fill me in. Jamie Spears has filed a petition to end the conservatorship, but we don't have access to the documents yet. CNN and TMZ do. Yeah. Do you think a deal was made? If a deal was made, we'd see a stipulation to end the conservatorship. What did I miss? I just got home from work. It'll be up on YouTube later, but Jaime petitioned to end the conservatorship. It was CNN too, not just TMZ. Will this petition be able to be heard on the next court appearance? I think he's gonna do this. This comment kills me, Gabby, every time. You're not the only person to say that, and it kills me every time. Such different topics too, Rachel Hollis and Britney Spears. Lost my train of thought. Do you think that he would do this to poke Matthew? Petition versus a stipulation. So if the parties came together and agreed, like, is there any way you could go outside? Baby, could you go outside? And I'm MSNBC, there you go. If the parties agreed and said, okay, Jamie, you hand over control and we'll get Jason to step in or whoever else to step in. And, you know, we still have the ability to pursue any and all claims in civil court. We both sign here that conservatorship will terminate as to the need for a conservator, but the court would retain jurisdiction. Both parties would sign, and then that would get filed with the court, and then the court would have to also sign. It's called a stipulation and order. Matthew put out a statement. He hasn't seen anything. Jesus Christ. I mean, he has to be served. It's probably because Vivian sent it to CNN and TMZ before she sent it to Rosengart. I mean, this is, again, a game of 4-dimensional chess. I mean, it's just like, this is, I appreciate you multitasking, cooking, answering our questions while raising kids. If you're implying that my husband is a kid, sometimes. Thank you very much, Blue Straw. Seems like Jamie thinks that if he can't be in charge, then no one can. And I think, again, it's him attempting to limit his liability. Like, okay, fine. You guys made all this noise. You want to end it. You know, I know you haven't asked to end it yet, but that's what you're going to do. So we'll just end it now. It's like having an argument with somebody and they get all their points across, and then you start like, okay, well, my turn. Well, you've had the 12th accounting, and you've paid all your attorneys, and you've got all your money, and you've had a say for 13 years. It's my turn. No, we're going to end the conversation now. No, we agree now. So we're just going to stop. Is it that easy to end a conservatorship? No. Does CNN have an official statement? I don't think so. It's like you fire because I quit. Exactly. A true narcissist. Of course we can end it. I'm not the bad guy. Yeah, that was included in there. Sketch. Lisa. I miss you. Trying to save face. Yeah. I feel like this is strictly about money. He was going to have to pay to defend himself. Well, that's an argument that Matthew Rosengart was going to make, that he was going to, if Jamie pursued this, it was clearly in his own interest that he was pursuing this. Therefore, he would have to bear his own attorney's fees because it's not for the benefit of the conservatorship, right? So Jamie was tipped. Like, what changed today? What is today? The 7th? Is today 16 plus 5? Lisa, is today 16 plus 5? Let me see. 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Today is the 16th day before the hearing, which I'm pretty sure Code of Civil Procedure rules for service and filing of motions applies in probate court to these types of situations, which means that unless they're going to file them late, which they did last time, they filed everything late last time. But that would mean that 15 days are needed. So 15 days to remove somebody. I think it's 15 days to remove somebody. 16 just for a motion, right? Or is a petition to end 15 too? I'll look. My point being, if he was doing this, is today the day because today is the deadline? Removing and ending are not the same? No. Okay, great clarification if needed. Rosengart petitioned to remove Jaime, i.e. the conservatorship would continue. Thank you. The conservatorship would continue with a different conservator. I'm not a lawyer. Okay. Generally speaking, you need to file moving papers 16 court days before the hearing, plus whatever time is necessary for service. So if they personally served Matthew Rosengart today, then they're on time. It's weird that he wouldn't have received that yet, though. I am not messing with that. Go. So Rosengart is saying, we want to remove Jaime, keep the conservatorship going, have somebody come in and investigate the last 13 years of financials. Okay, so that's what Rosengart and Britney are asking for. Jaime's saying, clearly, you heard Britney back in June. It's September. You heard Britney back in June. Are you okay?
I know how to poopy button on my shirt.
Okay. Real life. Jaime's saying, let's just end it. She clearly doesn't want this. I heard from her in June. I heard from her in July. You know, I guess I processed it in August, and I've decided, after the response where I said, I'm a great guy, I've done everything right, the public's perception of me is just not accurate, but I'll go ahead and step down when the time's right. Now I guess we'll just end the conservatorship since this is what Britney wants. No updates on 929 being audio recorded. No, there was, I think it's USA Today that has petitioned the court based off of First Amendment arguments and a specific statement by the California Supreme Court Justice, Justice Kentil Sakahui, I think is how you pronounce her name, that said that the remote appearance platforms that courts employ to through COVID need to remain in place after COVID for judicial expediency and all kinds of stuff. So that's that other motion. Oh, thanks. True, but at least she has free will to make decisions, even if not the best. It's really hard because I'm scared she's going to marry Sam and be right back at square one. She wouldn't be at square one. She would not be at square one. If she got married, quick primer on marital law, community property in the state of California. If she got married to Sam, saw he was a complete fuck up, and decided to divorce him, everything that she walked into the marriage with, she would still have at the end. That's community property in the state of California. You get to keep what you walked in with. Now, the question of commingling and all that stuff, that's a different issue. But generally speaking, if you inherit something, if you're given something, or if you walk into marriage with it, that is your separate community property. Tim and I walked into marriage with nothing. So we don't have to worry about that. One, because we're never getting a divorce. And two, because we didn't have anything when we got together. Oh, let me see. Live TV. I'm getting there.
He released a statement saying in part, quote, our family and our country suffered an unspeakable loss due to the inhumanity
I'm
of
on.
one man. We believe in the gentleness that spared his life, but
He's off now, but should be a video. Okay. His statement is on CNN. Okay, let me see. Let me see. I'm looking, guys. In a new court filing obtained by CNN on Tuesday, Matthew Rosen... Britney Spears' lawyer requests her father resign as conservator without payout. Oh, this is September 1st. Look at all of us doing the Lord's work. How fast can she get out of the conservatorship now? I don't think that that's a good idea. We don't want this done quickly. We want this done right. And those two things sometimes don't go together. The law and the legal system is not an expedient process. Can the judge require Britney continue therapy and retain an accountant? No, not after the conservatorship's over. It's on the CNN front page. I'm on CNN.com's front page. Let's see, but I'm not seeing the response from Britney's lawyer. Well, let me see if I can just Google it. Rosengart. They added it into the article. Of course they did, right after I got out of the... Okay. Matthew Rosengart, attorney for Britney Spears, called Tuesday's development vindication. This filing represents another legal victory for Britney Spears, a massive one, as well as vindication for Miss Spears, Rosengart said in a statement to CNN. It appears that Mr. Spears believes he can try to avoid accountability and justice, including sitting for a sworn deposition and answering other discovery under oath. Okay, I'm going to break that down for a second. What this indicates to me as a practicing attorney is that there is behind the scenes things that do not get filed in court. So discovery is something, it's the exchange of information between parties. You send questions that they have to answer. You send a request for documents that they need to provide. You request them admit specific things that they need to admit for your case. They can deny it. They can object. You ask them to sit for depositions. And so what probably has happened is Rosengart, along with filing the public documents and speaking publicly on this after court a couple times, right? He hasn't been playing this in the press like Jamie Spears has. I.e. Rosengart's not giving, I haven't seen once yet that Rosengart has provided a filing to a news outlet prior to filing it. He's playing by the rules. He's not airing this out in court or in the court of public opinion. But behind the scenes, what he's probably doing is serving discovery requests. Like, hey, where did all this fucking money go? Why does your attorney need $2 million in legal fees over the last year? Hey, we'd like to go ahead and take your deposition to figure out what the fuck you did for the last 13 years, why you instated this in the first place, what was the basis, what were the communications with regard to all of this, yada, yada, yada. So Jamie Spears looking at that and saying, okay, my options are answer all of this, because now he's said, I will be here until all this stuff gets worked out. I'm going to sit right here in this conservatorship spot. Yeah, you want me to resign. I'll get to it. Once I handle all the other things that I've got to handle, right? Once I handle everything else, be happy to step down and resign, acquiesce to your requests. Fine. But first, let me just get all this accounting stuff done, i.e. pay his lawyers, pay all the people that he has agreed to pay, including himself. And so Rosengart then, this again, I'm getting this from what is being said by Rosengart. Rosengart's like, okay, well, you want to sit in this spot for a little while longer? Court's going to retain jurisdiction? Perfect. Sounds like a great idea. Go ahead and sit for a deposition since you want to retain your conservatorship spot. I'll give you some discovery that you can answer in the meantime. And so instead, he's like, oh shit, okay, well, if I'm going to stay here, then I've got to participate in the legal process. How do I end the legal process so that I don't have to sit for depositions? I know, I'll just petition to end it myself. So that's probably, and that's in my opinion, my legal opinion, what may be happening behind the scenes. And again, discovery is not something that is public. It's something that happens behind the scenes. It only becomes public if there's a motion where people are not responding properly to discovery, either timely or objecting too much, not providing the specific documents required or the specific information requested, or if it's used at trial. What about, or used in furtherance of some other motion? Me trying to like eavesdrop on other conversations. Okay. He's scared AF. Just say it, Heather. I mean, I don't know. I can't get in that guy's mind. I think maybe part of him just thinks that he's going to get away with it. I'd love for the discovery questions to leak. I know, Steph. But Vivian would never. It's not going to help them. Are there so many people I don't know? I can't see. My screen is still cracked. When you read things, I imagine that's what you sound like in a courtroom. And I'm like, yes, girl. I think the same, yeah. Okay, so Rosengart added that Britney Spears will continue to explore all options. The elder Spears has served as, let's see. That's the last. Just last week, Rosengart called on Spears to resign immediately before he is suspended. Yeah, scheduled for September 29th. That's it. Rosengart is the best at super professional legal shade. I'm obsessed. He is the every single page for a 12-page motion going, we're not saying you did anything wrong yet. We're not saying that yet. But we're not saying that here. We're just saying, like, not in the best interest of Britney. We're not asking the judge to adjudicate whether or not you're a good guy. You're a really shitty guy, and we're going to ask her to adjudicate that really soon. But not right now. Not here. No, just between friends, you're going to need to get the fuck out. Have you seen the 47 million bit, though, where if he terminates, he doesn't have to pay back 47 million? No, I have not seen that. The 29th is happening. If they go after him for bad things he did while conservator, will he have to pay his own attorney fees? If they go, he would use the estate to defend himself he would try to the extent he thinks that they were justified by the estate itself. Justifiable actions. The estate is going to indemnify him or defend him to some extent, I would assume, especially if he's still conservator. They approved all expenses. Can he even go back? Yeah. Hey, Tim.
What's up?
There he is. By the end of the conservatorship, ending the conservatorship, they're still investigating. Yeah, they're still investigating the accountings and all that. Did Tim get a haircut? Someone asked.
I got my hair cut.
Time for shots. Did the Hollis Company fold today? I think probably that's no more. But I haven't gotten confirmation on that. If he committed crimes, those outs would not... See, there's so many different buckets where he could have done wrongdoing. Crimes, that's prosecuted by the state. That's not prosecuted by Britney. Tim's foot's good. He's fine. It's fine, yeah?
What?
Your foot's fine?
Yeah. My foot?
Your toe.
I am good.
Last time I was here, Tim wasn't golfing. He's not golfing today. He didn't golf this weekend because it was my birthday. How did he cut his toe? I'll tell you that on Friday Night Live. How do we get this to a federal level? Remove it. But I assume probably I don't know why it's so freaking hot right here.
Sitting next to the oven.
Wedding.
Is your onions done?
I mean, they're fine. I think Rosengart's going to try to get what he wants first in state court because it would take a lot of time to get another judge ready and all that. So not ready, but it would take time and effort and more money to remove it to federal court, possibly get denied. If you can get it done in state court, it's better to try it. And it sounds like Rosengart has lit a fucking fire. If the conservatorship ends, the $47 million bond he carries ends too, right? The bond is for acts that... Did he have a bond issued? I need to go back. I'll look. But I think the bond would end when he is done. But it's whether or not the bond is a claims made or occurrence type of policy, type of instrument. I need to look. What's a bond? A bond is you pay it it's almost like an insurance policy in situations like this, where in case you take off with all their money, there's a company that is telling the court, no, they're not going to take off with the money, and if they do, we'll pay this amount, and then they'll go after Jaime. Yeah, it's insurance. There you go. Caldwell was the name of my torts professor, and his dad was my constitutional law professor. The court filing said over 47 million got it. Hopefully Britney will fund some legislative action to go after these laws, the bad attorney. Yeah, here's my only, and I'm not saying that you're saying this, but I think we need to, as a group, the people who have the strength to pursue these types of claims or these types of legislation should move forward with doing that. This is going to be, I assume, when she gets out of this, she's going to need a lot of therapy, a lot of help, right? This is going to be something that she's going to need to deal with. So I just wouldn't want, if I'm her and I'm getting out of this 13-year-long conservatorship that by the grace of God, I got this fucking badass attorney at the end that finally got it done, but I had been trying for years and years and years. I get out of it and it's well, you got a lot of money. Can you change the laws now? If she couldn't get her own attorney for 12 years, I don't know. I just feel like she's going to be worn down and we shouldn't expect a lot from her until she heals herself. She'll be unraveling trauma and doesn't need that obligation piled on her. Yeah, The first mistake she makes will be on the news. Correct. Well, a mistake by whose standards? I hope her lawyer pursues an audit of her finances. I don't think that there's any way that her lawyer does not still pursue that. He's going to fight like hell to continue to pursue that, regardless of what Jaime's publicly stated. I feel like this is just a game. A lot of people feel that about litigation. If she wants to run her life, she can try. That's what they quoted Jaime saying, that if she wants to run her life, she can try. What a nice thing to say. Let me go back to the TMZ article. Pull up some of the quotes. No, not right now. In doing so, as he says in the court docs, in so doing, allowing her to hire a lawyer, this court has recognized that Ms. Spears has both the capacity and capability to engage counsel on her own. She presumably has capacity to handle other contractual and business matters. He notes Britney wants the conservatorship terminated without medical evaluation, and there's no requirement under California law for such an evaluation. Interesting, because I don't think that that's the tune that he was singing a month or so ago. Jaime now says the conservatorship has lasted a long time. Really? And things have changed to such an extent that grounds for establishment of a conservatorship may no longer exist. I wonder if Tim's friends know that when I'm on live and this gets posted to YouTube later, their conversations with him are on the internet forever. He's talking about fantasy football. It's not going to be anything that's going to be life-changing. As Jamie says, he wants the best for his daughter. And if she wants out of the conservatorship and believes she can handle her own life, he feels she should get that chance. Which obviously implies a chance that could, well, you know, it's a chance. Could go one way, could go another. We may be back here asking for another conservatorship, and I think a lot of us agree that that's not where this should have gone, nor should go. That's a good question. Can she make her mom and sister move out of her houses? Yeah. I mean, there's a process for that, but yeah. How much have you missed? It'll all be on YouTube later. I think they'll find her ex is liable for something and she'll get more time with the kid. I mean, that's a family law question, and I don't practice family law, but I don't think that that's going to happen. She may have more time with her kids moving forward after she petitions the court in her own family law case for X, Y, and Z, whatever that is, through her own family law attorney. But I don't think that there will be retroactive anything. Matthew, I practice primarily right now personal injury law. I have practiced a number of civil, not criminal, types of law over the last decade. A lot of construction law, a lot of civil litigation, business law, formation, advising, yada, 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 yada. Probate law. Aren't they old enough to decide? I'm trying to remember California law. I think 14, but it's not determinative. It's, it is taken into account. Yeah. I came online just to check if you were talking about Brit. Yeah, 13. Okay. Britney Spears. Talking about Britney Spears. And that's quite the name. So I was run over. That's personal injury, right? Yeah. That's personal injury. There's a number of things that I could give you right now that would be like, oh, well, if it's this fact pattern, then it could, like a law school exam, but generally speaking, yeah. I think she gifted her mom the house, but Jamie Lynn is fudge. Well, those will all be questions for another day. Going through each, this is killing my neck. Going through each asset individually will be interesting. And who got the benefit of what. It's really funny how first response called her crazy, and now he says end it. Right. His first response was, we've dealt with a number of mental health issues, and we don't want to get into that right now, but she's battled a lot with a lot of different things, and now it's, well, I think if the courts determine that she can hire her own attorney, then she must be able to handle contracts, because that's all her life is, right? That's what it boils down to. Her life is a number of contracts. What does he say? Has the capacity to handle other contractual and business matters. Conservatorships are not here for contractual and business matters. They are here to handle a person. Their estate is usually ancillary to their person. That's why generally you don't need separate people for it, right? Because you're not looking to profit off of a business. You're looking to assist a person. You happen to get compensated for it because it's such a unique position. It's such a job and requires skill and time and dedication and effort. So we don't want one person to feel overrun, especially if it's not a family member or something. Of course, baseball is on. Yeah, there's baseball or football. But it's not, this isn't a contract. This isn't a business. The conservatorships of the estate are, if there's enough money there, it's like, okay, well then let's make sure that your mortgage gets paid and your electricity gets paid, because you're having cognitive issues such that we need to make sure that you're taking your medicine and not deteriorating any assets that you have so we can continue to pay for your care, right? Do you think I'll get copyright struck? Tim, you need to turn that down.
Okay.
Please, thank you. I have to think about this shit now. I hope the judge notices how messy his filings are going back and forth. Yeah, because it makes the judge look bad. If they say, okay, well, we believe you, Jamie, in this one thing, and then a month later he's like, never mind, we want to end it, because the judge is not seeing discovery going back and forth. Yeah, I know a lot of people think that, Beefy. Grace Talton said okay, so somebody, let me go back. Why wouldn't he plead the fifth? Or he's doing this to not get prosecuted. Okay, so pleading the fifth, you can't do that for civil stuff. You can only do it for criminal. So, in order for him to plead the fifth, he would have to have facts that lead him to believe that criminal prosecution is possible against him, and therefore he doesn't want to answer questions because it could incriminate him. The minute he says, I plead the fifth, Rosengard's going to want to know why. Why would you plead the fifth in a conservatorship case? That doesn't make any sense. And then you could have a situation like you had with the Bill Cosby case, where the Rosengard could go to the prosecutor and say, can you waive any and all claims that Jamie Spears has, that you could have, the state could have, against Jamie Spears for anything related to this conservatorship, so he can't plead the fifth. Heather, from the questions here, you need to make TikToks explaining discovery and Rosengard comment. Got it. Okay. Screenshot stuffs. Discovery is the exchange of information, just so you guys know, the exchange of information between parties during a litigation that's before the court. So the minute that you file something, you get to ask the other party questions. Not the minute, but you guys aren't looking up CCP codes. So you start asking questions of the other party. They can ask you questions. For instance, Jamie Spears filed some declarations. So did Jody Montgomery, who is a party to this case, as temporary conservator of the person. They could send her discovery requests and say, on page 2 of your declaration, you stated X, Y, and Z. Please state all documents. This is a common one. Like if a party made a statement or an assertion, state all documents that you are aware of which support the statement that you made in that declaration. All facts that support your statement in that declaration. Anybody with knowledge, personal knowledge of any of the facts that support your statement in that declaration. You can imagine how lengthy and voluminous and time-consuming that would be. Witnesses, yeah, people, the ones that I do usually are, we call them contention interrogatories. Do you contend that Britney Spears, I'm spitballing here. I'm spitballing. I'm not obviously a party. I'm not a party. I'm not an attorney. I'm not in any way involved in this case other than to kind of explain to you guys to the extent you guys have questions. But spitballing, what would, like a question that I would have in discovery if I'm Rosengart, my phone's dying. Jamie, do you contend that this conservatorship was created? You think of these and you're like, okay, what would be the objections? Generally speaking, this would not be something that I would actually state, but do you contend that this conservatorship was rightfully created or legally created? If you so contend, please state any and all documents which you contend support that contention. Yada, yada, yada. I do not think the conservatorship will be ended at the end of the month because I think Rosengart may, well, his response is, this is a win for Britney. Yeah, it appears that Mr. Spears believes he can try to avoid accountability and justice, including sitting for a sworn deposition and answering other discovery under oath. Rosengart said that Britney will continue to explore all options. So Rosengart could say, yeah, go ahead, end it. We know that this court will retain, based on these other statutes and whatever else, Rosengart could still go after Jaime in court, in civil court. I need this TikTok live comment character count. It's triple. It was intended to profit from the beginning, yeah. Yeah, I mean, one question in discovery could be, how many contracts did you sign on Britney Spears' behalf? Please state all contracts that you signed without discussing with Britney herself. Like, all of that. You can ask all of it. What is Jaime's motive to end now all of a sudden? Discovery, it sounds like. He did call it a business model, correct. Will her old lawyer be accountable for anything? I don't know. Malpractice? If she wants to take that route? LA's big. You'll find in smaller towns, malpractice attorneys in general are few and far between, just because of the subject matter and the way that you can prosecute those types of cases for plaintiffs. I have a video way back in like April about that, but in smaller communities, you'll get attorneys that won't prosecute legal malpractice claims against fellow attorneys because the community's small. LA is pretty big, and it doesn't sound like Rosengart doesn't give any fucks. Yeah, a Britney documentary is rumored to come out on the 28th. If you go look at Your Best Friend Joshua, he had a TikTok about this about over the weekend maybe. That the documentary was shot and edited, and then after Britney spoke in June and July, and it was more pro-conservatorship, I guess. That's what the rumors are. And then they had to reshoot it. How many documentaries do we need? We watched the 9/11 documentary last night, and that was moving. What's Tim doing? Tim is watching baseball, setting up fantasy football. Upset with me because I haven't logged in yet. Can't you just log in for me, baby?
No, it goes to your email.
Oh. I got in late. Please upload to YouTube.
To
What?
it takes 3 seconds to do.
Well, I've got to spend my time on here. You know, I could make you happy, or I could make 500, 600 people happy. You know what I mean?
Okay, then don't make me happy.
Then don't make me
I'll
happy.
get another person to take your spot.
No, you won't. You love me. Go Giants? No idea who's playing. Yeah, Giants. I assume he's watching the Giants. Oh, that hurt my neck. Thank you, Lori. The Britney Army. Oh, man. The Britney Army needs to do something for you. Oh, no. No, they don't. No, they don't. Oh, where? I missed something. I'm going to have to get off here in a second. This is really killing my neck. My mom just called and asked if I heard, and asked what the TikTok lawyer said about it. That's awesome. Tell your mom I said hi. I'm like Josh at this point. We need an interview with Britney herself and not any more documentaries. I get that. A lot of the stuff I'm doing too, Heather's with her second family, Tim. A lot of the stuff I'm doing too is not necessarily research-based. I'm reading something and I'm giving you my interpretation. So a lot of it doesn't require much more work other than my time. Doesn't the court approve the accounting? Yes. But the court's looking at a spreadsheet of numbers. So if generally speaking, well, there was 5 million in income this year, and we had overhead in the amount of this. We've got these corporations, and generally, like, here's a brief overview of what that ledger looks like, and the total of her estate assets are 50 million this year over 49.5 last year. It's like, okay, well, we're not seeing large gaps in money spent, or you're not seeing, this isn't obvious fraud. This isn't, no, sorry, somebody called me. This isn't obvious fraud. Tell them bye. I know I'll have to face. It's my friend who didn't call me yesterday on my birthday. He could just log in right here. This isn't obvious fraud. This isn't obvious fraud. It's not like Jaime got the account information, and then every year there's like 5 million missing and no one knows where, like, oh, wow, well, I guess it's just lost. You know what I mean? That would be more obvious versus what this could be, which is, oh, well, we took a loss on this category and this asset depreciated and we had to spend more money over here because of X, Y, and Z. Like, that's a business. That's a business. And no one, if you're not, Jaime is submitting these accountings. The court isn't approving them as an auditor. The court is approving them on basically form and a general assessment only. The court is not required to, well, I'll have to look at the scrutiny that's required by a court with regard to this, but it would be on Britney's attorney to scrutinize those accountings. Similar to if you'll hear about like, oh, wow, there was an embezzlement case and they've been embezzling money for the last 5 years. And there's a board of directors that was reviewing this entire time. And everybody saw the credit card and everybody saw the income and expenses and signed the tax returns. But no one realized until now that was actually embezzlement. When's the next hearing? September 29th. Oh, Jen Shaw, that is a whole nother issue. I mean, go look at the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City trailer. It is going to be Erica Jane times 10, and it's going to be insane. No, I did not see that Sam interview. I had to pull over when I heard the news to steal Starbucks Wi-Fi to see if you were on. That's awesome. I will upload this to YouTube. Trailer does look insane. Just got here. What happened? Check YouTube because I'm going to get off right now. It's going to be so juicy. It will. Steph, it's keeping us busy. It's keeping us busy. Court documents were uploaded. Let me see. I will tell you. I assume that they don't upload after hours. Maybe they do. Nope. Not uploaded. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We'll see if the judge will accept his request. I'm not even in a conservatorship, but I feel liberated. That's good. That's good. Okay. These are going to get filed tomorrow. Well, they're filed today, but they will get uploaded tomorrow. I will look at them. I have a busy day tomorrow, but I will find some time to review it, and I will go live tomorrow evening. Sophia has practice anyway. So Tim will take her to practice. I think she leaves at like 5:30. So probably around then is when we'll go live. So if what's your schedule like tomorrow? Yeah. So, 5:30 Pacific time. So, I will set it in my bio and we will go over it then. There's all kinds of stuff going on, guys. So I'll set an event in my bio, and you guys can, set a reminder for it, or I'll tell you when I go live. Yeah. My clients will not understand. I wish, Steph, and they shouldn't. I will get up early and I will take away time and I will review it all and I will be ready to discuss it with you guys, because you guys are like my, I don't want to say clients because then somebody will sue me. Quasi legal colleagues. get on the YouTube playback for the recap. If you're watching on the YouTube playback, thank you, and I will see you guys tomorrow.